All right, wonderful world of YouTube. How are you this fine evening? What is today? Today's Saturday. Not quite sure the date. What is today? 7th, 8th? Who knows? Who cares? The only important date you need to know is the upcoming fight date, which I don't know. I think it's the 20th. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, Manny Pacquiao Thurman. Okay, by the way, sub to the channel if you're new. Okay, trying to get to 10,000. Now, think about this. If Mayweather and Marquez could create a fighter, I kind of think that's what you're going to get out of Keith Thurman on fight night, right? Maybe even throw in like a dash of Jeff Horn, okay? Like just a little, what do I mean by that? I think I think Thurman is going to try to do what Mayweather did, but he's also thinking about what Marquez did, and he's also probably thinking about what Jeff Horn did. The defensive in Mayweather, the knockout with a Marquez, and just kind of being the bully, the inside bully that Jeff Horn did, the dirty fighting, shall we say, right? I got a very interesting story I could tell you guys about Jeff Horn. We'll do it later. He actually tried to get my channel shut down, so, whatever. But anyway, let's get to it. Like I said, I want to hit 10,000 subs. I never asked for this, so please do if you haven't already. So, okay, I want to talk about the interview I did with Freddie Roach, okay? Actually, had a fairly long conversation with Mr. Freddie Roach, okay, after the Charlo Brandon Adams press conference after the fight. Freddie Roach was there, doing the whole event thing. After it was over, he was kind of behind the stage there. That's me down there in the picture with him. And he was just standing there. So I thought, okay, well, why not? Let me go up there and talk to him and ask a couple of questions, okay? Perfect opportunity. He wasn't getting mobbed by people, so perfect opportunity to go talk to him, and I'm glad I did. He was very cool, by the way. Okay, we talked about the training camp. Freddie Roach said the camp is going really good, okay? He said they're working smarter, not harder, okay? He said they got great sparring partners, and he said they hit just as hard as Thurman, if not harder. They're talking about the actual sparring sessions. He said, overall they're working on the output and stamina, okay? And so I asked Freddie Roach about the diminishing output. We're talking about the punches here, because if you look at Manny Pacquiao's punch stats, okay, from not long ago, compared to his last couple of fights, the numbers have gone dramatically down. And I asked Freddie about that. He told me what they lack in numbers, they make up in intelligence, okay? Which, okay, kind of what I thought he was going to say. Meaning they're not wasting any punches, okay? And yes, a lot of that has to do with age, but basically he kept stressing that they're just being smarter and more intelligent about everything. And he told me something that really stuck. He told me that every punch will count in the fight. That's what he told me, okay? And I remember that. And I have a lot of it on video I can show you guys, but whatever. If you want to see it, I'll post it. But, and that's a direct quote from Freddie Roach. He said that every punch needs to count in the Thurman fight. So no wasted energy, no wasted punches, things like that. And I believe Freddie Roach because, he wasn't pandering to a bunch of media guys. It was basically me and him talking one-on-one. As you can see right there, not a lot of people around. Me and him talking one-on-one. He said they had a great camp, and he feels that Thurman isn't on the same level as Manny Pacquiao when it comes to boxing IQ. He even said that he's not anywhere near Pacquiao's IQ and experience. The only thing that they have to worry about from Thurman is basically the counter right hand, the power base, the overall power in the right hand. So what does that mean? A knockout. That's all. According to Freddie Roach, they're only really truly worried about the knockout. He didn't get into like judges or getting robbed or nothing like that. He just said they need to keep away from the power because he believes ultimately Keith Thurman's going to have to rely on that power after he is schooled by Manny Pacquiao. So that pretty much like sums up the conversation. There's a lot of other things we talked about, but nothing all that important. Those are the main things. Every punch is going to count. They had a good training camp. The only thing they're worried about is the power, from Thurman. He's got the size advantage, the reach advantage, and things like that. I think like a 3-inch reach advantage, height, everything. So that's really the only thing they're concerned with. But Pacquiao, being the veteran that he is, he knows how to keep away from all that. Okay, he's smart enough to keep away from all that. Now, as far as my own thoughts go, I think every boxer needs a certain level of confidence, okay? But I don't like the way Thurman has turned that confidence into arrogance, right? He's making fun of Pacquiao's fighting style, bringing up religion, claiming he's going to retire Pacquiao. I mean, I understand wanting to sell a fight, but it's a little overboard. There's no need to sell this fight. Look, even Mayweather was more, cordial, more respectful, than Thurman during the build-up. So like I said, he has every right to be confident, but I think he's taking it to an uncomfortable level, and he's coming across as disrespectful, for especially for Pacquiao, right? A boxing icon, a future Hall of Famer, 8-division champ. I mean, a global boxing star, Manny Pacquiao. I feel like he's taking it just a little too far. It's going beyond the point of entertainment, and is getting in the realm of disrespect. Okay, and that's what I think. Now, okay, and think about this, okay, talking about that, think about this. What happened when Margarito was taunting Pacquiao? What happened when Ricky Hatton was taunting Pacquiao? Or Oscar De La Hoya, for that matter? Chris Algieri was poking at Pacquiao the wrong way. I mean, we all know what happened. Just look at the highlight reel. We all know what happened. And the real question is, here's my thing, all right? When will the clock run out for Manny Pacquiao, right? We've seen it happen. If you've watched boxing like I'm sure you have, it happens to all the greats. It happens to all. You don't have to be great. It happens to all of us. Father Time, right? To Chavez, Tyson, even Muhammad Ali. I mean, they just get old overnight and have to retire, right? But, I mean, I don't see any real telltale signs of Manny Pacquiao getting old overnight. In fact, if you compare his last 2 fights compared to Keith Thurman's last 2 fights, Pacquiao appears to be the younger, stronger, healthier, more, vibrant fighter, right? And, and I'm really starting to feel like Keith Thurman is in for a big surprise, okay? Big surprise. Now, look. Real champions, in my opinion, they don't take 2 years off. I mean, for no damn reason, right? A young, hungry champion wants to fight the best, but, for whatever reason, Keith Thurman went on this, 2-year hiatus, disappearing act that no one really can explain. I mean, I understand he has some injuries, the elbow surgery, things like that, but I don't know. I mean, doesn't explain the absence or the lack of desire, right? I think he's back for the money, and I think if he wins, great. He can move on to the next payday. If he loses, he can probably make up some excuse and get a couple of more paydays out of, Al Heyman or whoever. So, and remember, Thurman was calling out Mayweather and Pacquiao before the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. So it's like back then I felt he was hungry, a young, hungry champion. Now I really feel like he's in it for the money. I truly do. And why not Crawford, right? Why not Spence? Why not Sean Porter? I mean, there's a completely stacked division. Why Manny Pacquiao? I mean, I guess after the Josito Lopez fight, he feels like Manny Pacquiao is, the easier target is all I can think of, right? I don't know. This doesn't make any damn sense to me. But one thing I do know is after talking to Freddie Roach, I feel a lot better about Pacquiao's chances in the fight. And now, according to the betting odds, I believe Manny Pacquiao is the new favorite. Which, take it for what it's worth, right? I mean, but usually those guys get it right. So right now, Pacquiao, he was the underdog, but now I believe he is the current favorite. So that's actually good. That's gotta be like a slap in the face to Keith Thurman, though. So I don't know, guys. I just want to get on here for a minute and just share a few things. I mean, number one, like I said, the conversation that I had with Freddie really kind of changed my mind because I mean, I don't know. When I expected him to be a little more defeated, I guess, or unsure. And but there, like I said, there was no pandering. It was just me, right? It wasn't like there's a million cameras around. I'm just some guy. He doesn't know who the hell I am, right? So, and he was speaking from the heart. He was telling me the truth when he said, hey, it's a great camp. And Pacquiao's looking, stronger and better than ever. He said we're going to make every punch count. And the only thing we're really focused on is the power in the right hand of Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman. That's it. You know, I said they're not worried about the offense, the defense, the footwork, the judges, the combinations, the body shots, whatever. I don't think I know. The only thing he told me was we want to stay away from the right hand. And he was even telling me, you know, we talked a little bit about it, and I mentioned, you know, I felt that Pacquiao should be circling, you know, a certain way around Keith Thurman, because I doubt he'll cut off the ring, and he agreed with that. He said they're working on a lot of things in camp right now to kind of imitate Keith Thurman's style, because, you know, he has that. I mean, what style does he have? Like I said, it's kind of a hybrid style, but I do think Keith Thurman's going to come into the ring looking like Mayweather, very defensive, on his toes, using his footwork, on his bike, should I say, on his bike. But the only thing is, if Keith Thurman gets in there, right, and he feels like he can handle Manny Pacquiao's, you know, his power, then it will be a long night, and it could be a bad night for Manny Pacquiao. If Thurman gets in there and he's, you know, confident with that power, you know, it could be trouble for Manny Pacquiao. But I also think Pacquiao is a veteran, right? And I think you know, he can outbox him. So right now, you know, I told you guys in the beginning I was kind of leaning towards Thurman just a little bit, but you know, you got guys out there like Sean Porter and other guys that are in the know that really know Thurman, that they're picking Pacquiao. And to me, that's a little odd, you know, because these guys don't want to be wrong, you know, because they have to, you know, they have to eat that crow pie or whatever, eat crow, however they say it, you know. So I think they know something we don't, right? And we kind of know a lot. We, like I said, where the hell has Thurman been? You know, he's up in the mountains playing the flute, getting married, opening up, you know, nightclubs with his father-in-law. You know, meanwhile, Pacquiao has been active in the ring. I mean, Adrian Broner, Lucas Matisse, you know, but like I said in my other video, you know, he needs to show up. Manny Pacquiao needs to show up and, you know, put on a hell of a fight. And I do think, in my opinion, I think this will be probably one of the best, one of the best wins in his career, because of the, you know, look, you got special circumstances here, the age, you know, going up against a young, hungry champion, you know, alleged young, hungry champion, you know, so we'll see. Now, my fear is that right hand. But also, if Manny Pacquiao does pull off the win, if he gets the victory, you know, are they going to give it to him, right? The haters, the naysayers, are they going to say, oh, well, Thurman, you know, he was washed up, man. He's out for 2 years. He's in it for money. He's in it for this, in it for that. You know, because, look, even Keith Thurman at, you know, 70% is a dangerous Keith Thurman. So, you know, if Manny wins, I would put this up there with, shoot, who knows, man, Cotto, I guess. You know, I mean, I think it would be one of his most impressive wins of his career, and maybe even the welterweight division of all time, I dare say. This would be a hell of a win. I mean, this is basically history in the making, and we get to be a part of it, you know, and so we'll see what happens. So what do you guys think? Who do you have winning? What do you think about what Mr. Freddie Roach had to say? Leave it below.